Hi, I don't even know how to start this first video. I'm camera shy. I want to start this channel to talk about God and Jesus Christ, and my experiences throughout my life that I've walked with God. As a little kid, I used to sing to God when I play out in my grandpa's backyard and stuff. I don't know, I got a lot of stories to tell, but this first video, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm kind of feeling a calling to do it. I've been afraid to be on camera. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Ooh. Thanks for watching. And I hope everybody subscribes and shares, and I hope I'm worth watching. Oh, come on now. I'm trying to record here. Alright. So, maybe I should shut that off. Maybe I can shut this off. That way it won't do that. There we go. Sorry about that. Trying to get everything all perfect, and I guess life just doesn't go that way. Anyway, when I first started out a YouTube channel years ago, I wanted to really get into RV and van life, and I prepared for it, and kept putting it off. COVID came. Life took a change. I might have to edit this out. Life took a change, and I'm gonna have to edit part of it out, so I ain't eating up too much time. So you might see it glitch in there. Oh boy. Anyway, life took a change. Life took a change, and my mom passed away. And I'm a grown man, but she was my mom. And my family just, when you think people are going to support you because you're family, it's just weird how stuff changes, Anyway, long story short, things got really ugly. Oh boy. Anyway. I don't regret being there to take care of my parents in their older years. Dad had passed away first, then Mom during COVID. I don't regret working part-time jobs, so I had more time to be there for my parents. Now, after all this stuff happened and my family got goofy, and I don't know, I'm getting into too much personal stuff, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna have to edit some of this, I can tell. Long story short, I forgot this too. There we go. Hey, I'll try starting it over now that I'm not so emotional. Take two. Boy. Oh. Hi. First video, nervous. Don't know how it's gonna go. Sometimes I can talk in front of tons of people and not have a problem. But when I get in front of a camera, I get all fumble tongue and stuff sometimes. Anyway, I don't know how to describe how I got to where I am right now, or where to start. So I guess it might be over a transition of multiple videos or something. I don't know. I feel like God really wants me to share more of who I am and my experiences with Him. And I've walked with God all my life, even as a child. I used to sing to Him when I was a kid, playing in my grandpa's backyard. Anyway, I didn't even know what I was singing, so I didn't know what tongues were then. So it was probably some of the times I was probably singing in tongues, but had never heard of that. Anyway, So I'd started a different YouTube channel a few years back, and it was going to be, I wanted to kind of revolve around RV and van life. So I prepared for that and got solar panels and other stuff, and did a lot of research on different things. And I'd camped throughout my life, so I figured I could do that and it'd be fun. I'd maybe see some more of the country, which I haven't done yet. I've been mainly staying around my state. But a few years back, life took a really amazing change for me. It was hard. I've lost my other parents throughout my life. My biological father, my stepfather, my stepmother, but my biological mom was still alive. I was a mama's boy. So when she passed it during COVID, it was a hard time. But things took a change. Maybe I'll get into that in some other videos, but that's kind of what got me to where I am. I kept putting out RV van life off, and when all that stuff happened, I kind of got pushed into it quicker. Good thing I was preparing ahead of time. Maybe God had me preparing ahead of time, so that way when that took place, I'd be more ready. So it wasn't as traumatic. So thankfully, I have this RV that I live in, and God bless my family. I mean, nobody's perfect, but everything kind of got taken away from me, and I'm starting over from scratch, and it's okay. Just how life rolls. I got a couple storage unit with some stuff in it, 2 different storage units. Anyway, so God's been calling me to start this channel. I've been nervous as heck about it. Who knows how this video is going to come across to people. Hopefully I can get more relaxed on camera and start being myself and telling some of the stories of my life that have just been some cool, amazing experiences I've had. But, well, God bless you. God bless all of you. I don't know what to talk about next right now. This camera deal's kind of got me in a fluke. So a few years ago, I started working in a foundry. What a job. And throughout my life, God has always been part of my life. He's always shown me signs or something, or and I just always knew it came from God. And there are other points in my life where I had direct experiences, but when I started at this foundry, with all the stuff I'd gone on in my life, God started actually talking to me sometimes, and it scared me. I started thinking, well, I got all this trauma going on in my life. Am I losing my noodle? I'm not losing my noodle. It's God. But in the beginning, I wasn't sure, and He wanted me to start talking about Him more openly. When I was a kid growing up, in the 70s, I'd say it was, that I'd hear people that went to church or tried to preach about God, and in my experience in the 70s, you'd hear some people be like, oh, them people are Bible bangers, or the church people, or whatever. So as a child, excuse me, I even though I had a strong relationship with God, I kept it to myself more and didn't talk about it, because I guess I was maybe afraid of people making fun of me or talking about me or something. I don't know. And as I got older, all my close friends, they know that I had a strong faith and stuff. I didn't like push it on people, but I didn't hide it either, And this time, though, God told me He wanted me to start talking about Him. So, it was so strong. It's not like a dark voice coming out of the sky, hey, but I could just hear what He's saying to me. And it was coming to me so fast. While I was running these molds and pouring metal, I had a red pen and I was like trying to take down notes of everything He's saying to me. And I just couldn't keep up because I'm trying to keep these machines going, and I could hear God talking to me. And some of it I recorded on my phone. So, because I didn't want to forget none of this, because it just was so powerful. Well, anyway, I started talking to people at work more about God and stuff, not knowing if they're going to think I was weird or whatnot. And it ended up being accepted very well. And in my time there, I believe I really helped a lot of people personally. And I'm glad to do that. I've done that all my life. If somebody's hurting or needs help, it's instinctive for me to help them. Anyway, so after working there a couple years, I could feel God telling me, I don't know how to describe that one because that one wasn't really in words. I don't know. But anyway, I could feel him telling me it was time for me to go. I'd done what I've done. I've helped who I could help there, and it was time for me to move on. So I let my coworkers know that I was going to be going for too long, and some of them really bummed out, because I created a lot of detachments. And I told them not to feel too bad. I wasn't leaving right away. I might be there another so many months or a year, but I didn't think it was going to be a year. But I had to tell them because all other jobs I've worked in my life, I just kind of kept working. I just kind of kept staying there and figuring life out or whatever. And I just had to let them know I was going because I could feel those attachments. So I wanted to start preparing to say goodbye ahead of time because I didn't know how my actually goodbye was going to go, and I didn't want anybody to feel like left out, if it was like a short thing. Well, anyway, I kept staying there longer and longer because I'm trying to save money because I'm living in an RV now, and I'm working at this place, and I'm trying to put money into the RV so it don't break down and stuff, which I just kept doing check to check, to make sure that I had a less chance of having problems on the road, and I put thousands of dollars into it because it's an older RV. And I was kind of arguing with God or debating with him that he kept telling me it was time for me to go, And he wanted me, and part of it was probably me wanting to come back to the area where I lived with my mom, because when I got the foundry job, I was way south. So part of it was probably me wanting to come back up here, but God wanted me to go, and maybe there's reasons for me to be up here. I think there is. I think it's more than just what I'm feeling, but I think it's kind of therapeutic for me too. Anyway, but he kept telling me he wanted me to go. It's time for me to leave this place and move on. He's got a mission or a journey for me or calling or whatever this is. So I started kind of arguing with him, telling him I was scared because I wanted to save more money. I wanted to be more prepared. And it's weird how when you don't, what I believe is when you feel that and you don't listen, because I kept staying longer. I know I stayed longer than when I was supposed to go because I was trying to save more money, but I kept putting more money into the camper and, spending as I'm making. So I'm really not saving like I wanted to, which I did okay. I wasn't like, I could just like throw my money away or nothing. But anyway, well then, this environment I had taken part in creating of helping people, it all went from people being really serious in the foundry because it's a tough job, to people laughing and joking around and having a fun time in a hostile environment, and it just kind of became like a family. Well, so that made it easier for me to stay there in this tough job. And I mean, physically I was doing it fine, but then because I wasn't leaving, all of a sudden, I believe it was God creating it, I don't know for sure, but things just started changing, and management changed, and things just started getting more and more uncomfortable day to day, and God kept telling me, I'm telling you, it's time for you to leave, and I kept wanting to save more money. Long story short, a day came where I just knew that it was time to go, and I'd already pulled up to work. I was there, and I was like, well, I guess I'm here, I'm going in, I went in, and that was the last day I was there. And that day was pretty, not nice stuff happened that day either, and that was just the last straw that God sent me, I guess, to to say, look, I've been telling you it's time for you to go, you know. And so before things got more uncomfortable there, that was my last day, and that was a few months back. So I've survived on what I did save, and here we are a few months later, almost heading into 4 months later. Funds are getting tight. God tells me not to worry. He's gonna provide, and he always has. I mean, it doesn't mean things have always been easy in my life, you know. But I've gotten scared, and I've cried to God about it, and I'm a grown man, but I'm human too. It was really weird one day. I'm sitting in this lot I'm in right now. Money's getting tight. I got one storage unit paid, the other one's not. They're due again, or they're going to be due again at the end of the month here. But I'll figure it out. It's going to work. You know, I don't know. And if whatever happens, I know it's supposed to be. You know, and I'm going to keep trying. I ain't giving up. I ain't throwing in no towel. But man, oh man, the Lord works in just amazing ways. And I'm still nervous and scared. You know, but I just know it's going to be okay somehow. It's always pushed me to do this, or called me to do it, or whatever. This is what I feel like I'm supposed to do, is this channel. And I guess through time I'll find out if it's accepted, or if I'm helping anybody in any way. But while I was getting emotional with God one day, because I'm nervous about my finances and how they're going to go, you know, because things are getting tighter. So the smaller my money gets, which it's small. I can't believe I've allowed it this far, you know, but part of it's pride, you know. You know, it's hard for me to ask for help or whatever. And I know if I was still at the foundry, it'd be hard for me to run this channel, because that was some tough work, you know, really tough work. I mean, you're done working, you just want to rest your body, and then when you wake up, it's like, oh man, I gotta go back there now, you know. So it's just sleep work, you know. Anyway, I get sidetracked. Forgive me. A lot of times when I'm talking or telling stories, I might get sidetracked, and my point is to go here, and I end up over here, and then I have to come back to here, you know. So I'm talking to God about, what am I going to do, Lord? You know, I know you say you'll provide, but I'm a human being, and I get nervous and don't know. And it was the strangest thing I'd seen across the way. I don't mean to label anybody or nothing, but it looked to me like somebody that's homeless. You know, you're just walking along, and I talk to anybody and everybody. I love all people, you know. But he caught my eye up in the distance. Well, he walked out of my window frame area, and here I am talking to God, and made my camper all by myself. But what am I going to do to provide? And prior, the Lord had told me that I needed to learn to set my pride aside and learn to accept help. And he said he was going to send me help. And depending on how I accepted that help would kind of determine something in my future, how things went or something. I don't know how to explain it. But the point was that I needed to learn to accept help. And he said he was going to send someone. Well, back to this guy. I don't know where he went to. And somehow he must have made it around my camper, and I get this on my door. So I slide that window open and the screen open. And there he's standing there, this homeless guy with his backpack and smoking a cigarette, and said he came to give me some money. I didn't know what to do. Instead of getting emotional, I was just more in shock, you know. So I introduced myself, because I'm a people person. And he wanted to give me $5 at first. And I started saying no, because I can see he needs money too, you know. And I know at the moment I probably have more money than he does, even though I'm down there. And he really wanted to give me $5. And then I remembered what God told me, you know, that I need to start learning how to accept help. So I'm starting to say okay. And he's going to give me money. And then I'm like, I don't know. I said, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. He said, I'll tell you what. And I said, what? And he opens his wallet and he hands me $2. And I could see he had about $35 left in his wallet, you know. And especially since I'm up higher and he's out the window down there, I got a good view. he hands me $2, and he says, I'm going to give you $2 and 2 cigarettes. And I said, well, I quit smoking 2 years ago. And he said, that's okay. He says, they're not for you to smoke. He says, I'm going to give you $2 and these 2 cigarettes. You can sell them and get $1 for them, for the 2 cigarettes. He says, then you'll have $3. Well, I got a thing for the number 3 because of the Holy Trinity and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you know. So I said, thank you. He gave me two Lucky Strike cigarettes. And I got those cigarettes right now up in the cabinet, and the $2 rolled up and put in a Ziploc bag again. And I talked to the man a while longer, and he said he wanted to give me more. He says, but he's got to go buy some socks. And he started talking to me about socks and what were the good ones, you know, that last longer from walking and stuff. But he was just a really, really wonderful human being. So he goes about his way to head into Walmart. And I'm thinking about this, and I'm crying again because God just got done telling me he was going to send me somebody and stuff, and even though, you know, it's $2, and it's not about the $2. It's the point that he said he was going to send somebody, and he did. And I just sat there in amazement, you know, like, okay, God, I hear you. So, and I got finished getting myself together, and I thought, I want to go see if I can find this guy again and see if he'll let me take a selfie picture with him, you know, about me and him together. And I did. I found him, and it was so cool. He was sitting out in front of Walmart, and I went up to him and I said, hey, Gregory. I said, I was wondering if I could get a selfie of you and me. And he said, what's that? He was an older gentleman, you know, a little older than me. And he said, he's 12 years older than me. I think he was like 69 or something like that. But I said, well, can I take a picture of you and me together with my phone? And he just smiled, and he said, yeah. He says, you want, because he was sitting on the bench, he says, you want me sitting down or standing up? And I said, it doesn't matter. You know, I just want to get a picture with you. So he stands up and starts straightening his shirt and stuff. It was just really cool to see that in him, you know. I mean, he was so, it's like he was proud that somebody wanted to take a picture together with him, you know, and he wanted to look right, you know. So I got that picture, and I guess I'll try to edit it in here. And I'm going to have to do some editing through this video. And it was just a really neat experience, you know. And we talked about God, faith, and life. And he told me about him dying and being brought back to life before, when he wiped down his bike and hit the ground so hard. He said his heart stopped before he hit the ground. So, you know, all I could do is take it from him, and maybe that was his belief, you know. Maybe that is how it happened, you know. Maybe, I don't know, but anyway, he was just a really, really nice man, and I've seen him since in the area, and I can't wait to repay him, because I know I've been through tough times before and built myself up. I'll do it again, and I can't wait to repay him. I'm going to surprise him one of these days once I'm back doing better. But anyway, my goal is to keep helping people, to keep making videos, sharing more of who I am and the different people I help. I don't know if I'll always be able to get selfies or video with people. Some people don't like being on camera, and some people, even taking pictures, some people don't want to be pictures. So I don't know, it's just amazing. Like another story I'll tell you about shortly, I'll get into it in depth more some other time, is I was going to I blew up right by the border of Wisconsin, so I was going to head over that way, and I got an uncle that lives over there and stuff. But anyway, and I was going to wait till Wednesday, because financially it worked out better for me, and I try to plan everything to not burn extra fuel, whatever, you know, until I figure out what I'm doing. And it was on a Monday, and God said, no, you're going to go today. Is the feeling I got from him. You're going to meet somebody. So as God's been talking to me more, I've been putting myself out there more ahead of time. So what I did in this situation, when I could feel God telling me I was going to go meet somebody, I didn't know who it was yet. I didn't know who I was going to meet, but I could tell he was sending me to meet somebody. So what I did for my family and friends on Facebook is I posted that day I posted God sending me to meet somebody again, because I've been talking about God more on Facebook and stuff too, and some of my amazing experiences. But there I don't have to, I'm not on a video camera. So I put myself out there that God was sending me to meet somebody, and then or no, maybe that was Sunday night. I don't know, but anyway, I posted it ahead of time. But my point is, I posted it ahead of time on Facebook that God was sending me to meet somebody, and I said I don't know who I'm supposed to meet, but He always guides me to them, and I put so here's to another amazing experience. Well, when I got there, I ended up meeting this lady, and I just knew it was her. When I seen her, I knew it was her, and it's like she knew I was coming or something. It was really weird, because I'd never met her before. And sat down next to her, started talking to her, and just socializing, and turns out it's like she knew I was coming too, and I told her, well, God sent me to meet with you today. And it didn't faze her at all, and she started telling me how she herself has died and been brought back to life 4 times. And I was like all right on the operating table, or no, 4 different times. So it ended up into some really cool conversation. She talked to me about angels and her experience and stuff. But anyway, I don't want to I'm sidetracking again for this new, or maybe I'm not, I don't know. I hope this first video comes across as something helpful to somebody. I believe God wants me to keep making these videos, sharing who I am and my experiences. I hope it will help, glorify Him, the kingdom of God, or bring people in, or open up people's minds more to take a look at it, maybe to start learning. And I think that anybody who actually walks into that doesn't know Jesus Christ or the Bible, and I'm not a person that's into religion. I believe that for believers, I believe we're all praying to the same God. So I'm a Christian, I guess. I don't know. I'm not big about labels either. But I get along with everybody, and I think anybody that doesn't believe or has a curiosity, if they're just open-minded and looked into it and really started trying to learn more about it, I think maybe not all, but I think the majority of people would start experiencing life totally differently, and start to, I don't know, it's just amazing how some stuff happens, Maybe that's just my own experience, but I got a lot more to share. I can't do it all in one video. I don't even know how long I've been going here. Yeah, I'm getting close to, what is that? I'm getting close to, not too far away from 30 minutes, I think, and I don't want this to be a really super long video. I don't even know if this video is going to make sense to anybody, or if I'm doing it right. But I'll keep trying. And, I guess my fan just decided to shut. I don't know what else really to say at the moment. God bless you. Oops. God bless you. Thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe and share it, and I hope this grows, and I hope I help people. Whatever you're going through in life, you're not alone. There's people out there. They're going through similar things. It's different when you're the one living it, But you're not alone, and I care about all those people. And if you're one of those people going through something, and you're in my area, I'd want to hang out with you, just to be there for you, or talk to you about life, or whatever. Kind of what I do. I don't know what I've done all my life. But now I'm going to try to do it as a living, if I can, so I can help more people. Because I know if I might end up going back to normal work if I don't find a way through this, doing it this way. But I just know that if I start going back to a normal job, I'm limited to how many people I can help. And I think I've got a lot to offer. I don't know if it shows in this video, but I guess over multiple videos, or a few in the beginning anyway, we'll kind of figure it out and see. And another thing I'd like to say before I close out is that for comments, I don't know if I'll be able to read them all depending on how quick this thing grows. My other channel, when it started going, I tried keeping up with every comment and communicating with everybody, but it just starts growing so fast and getting bigger. My other channel didn't get big. Right now I think it's got like 799 subscribers or something like that. But it still gets hard to keep up with all the comments. And I'd ask that everybody, be considerate of everybody. Try to, like the old saying is, if you ain't got something nice to say, don't say it at all. Now that isn't in all cases, because sometimes you got to talk about tough situations, and that's acceptable too. But think about how other people, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We want to be understanding and communicate well. And the more we can communicate, the more we can help each other. We all go through different stuff. So, just anybody in the comment section, I hope that you're either reaching out, sharing your opinion or your thoughts in a nice way, or helping each other in the comment section. Because I might not be able to read all these comments if this thing starts to grow or communicate with people. I'll do my best, but we're all a family on this planet in a way. We might not always all get along, but in this channel, if everybody in the comments can be considerate of each other and maybe help each other out. If you see somebody writing about something they're hurting about, and you've got something caring to say to them or helpful input, share that. I hope I did okay on this first video, and God bless y'all. I hope you come back for the next one and the next one, and hopefully I can keep doing this. One more thing is, God, I hate to ask for money, but I want any help that anybody wants to help. I've only got one link right now, and that's Venmo. I only have it because when things got tough before, I got down to $1, and I knew I needed help. And my aunt told me to download this app called Venmo so she could send me $50, and she did. It helped. Gosh, I don't want to get emotional on camera. I gotta learn to control that more. God bless you all, and I hope I can help as many as I can. I will grow, and I will do that. God bless y'all. Run to God, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. This video clip, I don't know if it's going to make it in the first video, but it might make it in the second video. Maybe the first one. Is I like making up my own stupid jokes and make myself laugh, okay? So I'd had my Bible sitting right behind my back here, and after I got done filming, I stood up and turned around, and then my Bible was there, and I was like, oh, I've left my Bible right behind my back. And then I said to God, I was like, hey, you had my back. That was kind of cool, and I started laughing because it's silly humor. I don't know. It's what it is. But I guess maybe I'll get more comfortable with my goofiness and my dad jokes throughout my video experience. Once again, God bless you. Take care. Till next time. We'll see you on the next